What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Slacking Off podcast. I just blew my nose into a tissue. We're probably going to sell it on eBay later for $50. I am here with Jimmy and Framed, two very talented content creators, both with incredible series of their own. How are you guys doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good, man.
No one cares. Jimmy, how are you doing?
Holy shit.
I was doing great this morning until I woke up. You released your video about maybe 15 minutes after I released mine, and you made my video look like when you're first trying to start YouTube. When you're first trying to put out a video, like, I'm going to give this a shot.
Jimmy, please.
Dude, it's embarrassing. And people just come over to my video, and they're like, wow, I can't believe Swampletics uploaded a video today, too. I'm like, just watch what I made. It's right there. But I'm glad that you give me that. I'm grateful
You're
for
welcome.
you. I'm grateful for
absolutely.
you.
I'm glad that we're just going to always live in your shadow. That's just amazing.
I mean, hey, Jimmy, I'm giving you more traction at the very least. You're getting more comments. It's getting recommended more. That's all that matters, really, truly.
Most of them are very offensive, though. So why are we here? What are we doing?
Yeah, so you guys may have seen episode 1, if we're calling it. I mean, this is technically episode 1, but you may have seen episode 1 on Jimmy's channel under the name Procrastinators. But it turns out we completely ripped that off of someone, and we are no longer using that name. We are now the Slacking Off podcast, and we're going to be hosting this on my channel. There's no real set schedule currently. We're just going to do it whenever we want. I guess kind of fits with the name if you're slacking off, you know.
It's very clever. I came up with it personally.
Yeah. Well,
wait, I came up with it.
Yeah, it was definitely soddled over here. But here's the thing. Did we even look into the idea that somebody else could have this podcast name?
Yes, I did. No one else has it. No one else has it. This is an original name. Yeah.
Did anybody above 100,000 subscribers look in? No, I'm kidding.
Wow. Unbelievable.
People are gonna think that's an arrogant joke, but we literally do that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just make fun of him all the time. He loves it. He loves it. Trust me. Wait.
So
hold on. I have something to say before you continue as the main host of this. This is also on iTunes and Spotify and all the other podcast things that you can press play.
All the streaming platforms you could possibly imagine. We are on MySpace. Are we on MySpace?
Probably.
No, we're on
Probably.
We're on Friendster. We're on Tumblr.
Yeah, we're gonna be on all those.
It's gonna be the only views that Tumblr gets because they removed porn on that now.
That's disappointing. But yeah, if you're driving in your car and you're like, well, I'm not opening YouTube. That's just a dumb thing to do. It's on iTunes, and you can download it, and you don't even need internet. You can just press play wherever you are, and you can listen to us. So congratulations.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you can't see the cool picture we got going on that we just paid a boatload of money for.
Yeah,
we paid literally like possibly in the 6 figures for it.
Yeah,
so.
we're gonna need to take sponsors to pay off this $250,000 debt over our heads.
And speaking of sponsors, this video is not sponsored, but maybe future ones will. We have no idea. That's all I have to say.
It's going to be worth your while if you choose to go that direction too. I just want to put that out there. It's very productive, and our ad reading skills are through the roof, and we practice most mornings. So, don't
just for the chance to read out, something about some foot cream.
Yeah, you just watch. By the end of this year, you guys are gonna have like 15 products that you never use on your shelves, and you're gonna have us to thank for it.
Dude, we can get some badass sponsors. Ron Burgundy, which is a character. It's just Will Ferrell pretending to be Ron Burgundy on a podcast, is sponsored by Charmin toilet paper, like an actual sponsor.
Holy.
We can get Charmin. Why not?
We can get John frickin' 6 sponsors.
Yeah. Need to wipe your ass? Wipe it with Charmin.
Yeah,
and potentially Jimmy's content, but also Charmin.
Wow.
His ad reads are literally him just being like, "Look how cute those bears are on the television. That's amazing." And he just, I don't know. Yes.
Wait, is this a legitimate thing? That
Dude, yes, this is a real.
Really,
this is a real thing. Will Ferrell has the Ron Burgundy podcast, and he reads ads that are actual sponsors, and Charmin's one of them. And he just laughs like the idiot Ron Burgundy is in the persona of him, and just laughs about the bears being cute and how they talk and dance to their music while wiping
That's pretty
their ass.
great.
How do you know all these things, Jimmy?
I'm a big podcast guy. Huge podcast guy. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get Ron Burgundy on this podcast, guys. It's gonna happen.
Alternatively, you can tweet at Elon Musk, and maybe we can get him on the podcast. He's a big fan of Gridlocked.
Yeah. Yeah. He actually tweeted out that Gridlocked is going to space. Which, by the way, I've been doing this for a few months, and I just changed my name today from Solus Cadamus to frickin' Gridlocked. I didn't actually think I would actually get that name. And that's one of those names where it's like, oh, like, that's a cool looking word. People definitely freaking, already made that their RuneScape name. No.
In case you guys don't know what Gridlocked is, maybe Frame, you can explain that because we've been talking about it.
So you guys ever sitting in traffic, you're like, oh, this fucking sucks. Well, that's me in RuneScape. It's pretty much just a traffic sitting simulator.
That's Mr. Farm's series, and after months and months of having the name Solus Cadamus, he decided, oh, let me name my character after the name of my series. That's a great idea. And he got the name, so
you miss 90% of the shots you never take. Just want to put that
exactly.
out there. And
I just realized I'm the only one here before that who didn't have the same name as the series, so.
Because it's
now I'm in that
usually
club.
just something you instantly try at the start.
Yeah.
Congratulations, though. That's pretty big.
Thank you so much.
Hey, we have like actual things to talk about. I just realized that.
Oh, we do.
What a concept! Actually discussing.
I made this document, this brainstorm outline document like a month ago, and it was completely changed in 30 seconds today. To something way less productive.
Jimmy poured his heart into this. It's like MLA format. There's like 100, maybe 100 words on it.
And we just bulldozed it. We just bulldozed it in 30 seconds.
Right.
We just annihilated it. Yeah. So
we can move on to the first thing.
Yeah, so let's talk about Song of the Elves. That's a big quest coming, I believe, next month.
We also have to thank Wizard for actually making the graphic.
Oh,
by the way.
yeah.
So
Thanks,
you, Wizard. Wizard OSRS, that's his Twitter. But yeah, we can discuss Song of the Elves because you're actually going to be flying out in a few days. Depending, I don't know when this is actually going to be uploaded. Maybe never. You're going to be flying out to playtest that. So what are you even expecting from that anyway?
So I don't really know what to expect. I got the invite. I was super excited. I wanted to go because it's my first time being invited to anything like this. And then a week later, they released some information about the quest, and I was like, oh, there's gonna be that puzzle in it, and now I'm scared to do that puzzle. But yeah,
you literally have to play test that, do you not?
Yep, I have to actually play test it. It's kind of a weird concept.
It makes me happy to, that they were literally sitting there when they were making this quest, and they were thinking to themselves, what was everybody's favorite quest in the entire game? Got to be Morning's End Part 2. But why?
Yeah.
Why is it Morning's End Part 2? Oh, it was the puzzle that you got lost on. And everybody, that made a guide on it, except Soup. He's the best. Just messed up this freaking puzzle.
When was the last time you guys did that Morning's End puzzle?
Here's the thing. First of all, I've never done it without a guide. So, if you told me what you're trying to do in the puzzle, I would have no idea. I have no idea what's going on in that quest because all I did was watch a video that told me exactly what to do on the side, and I just I don't have any orientation as to what you do in that puzzle.
Yeah, of course.
So
why would you know what's going on with that?
Exactly. Do you ever know what's going on in any quest except maybe for Jimmy, and that's all you do in this game?
Even Jimmy doesn't know what's going on.
I think if there's one guy that needs to judge this quest and know how it works, then yeah, probably hit me up. I mean, sure, I might have failed the Morning's End Part 2 puzzle 6 times with a guide and had to reset it multiple times. But I think I'm still pretty credible enough to be like, you know what? Let's see what he thinks. Let's see if he sees potential in this to be good content.
Jim, if you can tell me right now what is actually meant to be going on in Morning's End Part 2 without looking it up, I think you deserve the invite.
What
is the point of the puzzle? What are you trying to do?
Well, you're using mirrors. It's you ever seen Ocean's 11 and they use and he's jumping through the lasers and stuff?
No.
Okay, well, it's a really cool scene. It doesn't have anything to do with the puzzle or the mechanics, but it's a really cool scene with lasers. Check it out. But there are lasers in this Morning's End Part 2 thing that shoot out of mirrors, and you basically get a bunch of mirrors, and you're trying to
we understand that.
Yeah.
But what is the objective of it? Is it
if I had to guess, I'm guessing you're just like trying to match the different colors to the different like cubes. Listen, I was just gonna read up on this like literally on my flight to England and like try to grasp what the hell is going on.
If you were to solve it without a guide, if you were to solve that puzzle without a guide, you need like architect paper, like the big, you know what I'm talking about, the huge paper that architects use while they're designing to literally draw the big maze. Like there's like 3 floors in that quest. You need to have every floor mapped out because there's a lot to remember, and like you're just not going to keep track of all of that. So it's probably going to be like 6 floors in this, and it's going to be unique every time you reset it probably.
Yeah,
I guarantee it's going to be unique.
Who do you think's going to be the Indiana Jones of Song of the Elves to actually solve this thing? Personally, I'm waiting 3 weeks until it's been solved like 50 million times before I even look at the freaking quest guide.
Yeah. Who's like a puzzle guy? Who does it? Wooks, I guess.
Wooks does
is
it.
like pretty much it.
Yeah, he does all the he's always trying to solve the what is it called, the like the huge clue that they release like week by week, and then the big master plan at the end.
Crack the clue.
Yeah,
crack the clue.
Yeah, I mean Wooks pretty much freaking pioneered the solution to every single crack the clue.
Didn't he just brute force it though?
I think for one of them, but I don't.
Yeah.
Did he?
Well, he didn't find it first for the initial one.
No, some guy. So, I think some guy figured it out, or
yeah, he did.
Or maybe he just had a bunch of random items. I forget exactly what it was. It was something along those lines.
Yeah, for the first one, the first ever one was brute forest.
Yeah.
But Wooks saw. Well, I'm pretty sure he literally just made like a feature on RuneLite to like check which tiles it could be. I don't even know. I wasn't on those streams when he was doing them, but I know they were freaking sick.
Well, I was talking about this earlier, like the puzzle, since they're saying it's so hard, I would think that it would be unique to each person, so that you actually have to understand the mechanics and you can't just follow like a.
I really hope that they decide to release, that they release this before the podcast, because if you just gave them that fucking idea that it has to be, you have to understand it.
There's no
way.
way.
We're not gonna be friends. That's it.
I don't know, man. I think that'd be cool.
I totally agree with Jimmy though. Like if they made it so that you cannot use a guide for it, it would be pretty wild.
Because think about it. Is there a quest that is hard? The same. Obviously, they're on a different spectrum. Is there a quest that is as hard as getting like the Infernal Cape?
No, not even.
No, because you have to understand mechanics to a certain degree, and with the quests, you could be really. I'm Exhibit A. I have a quest cape in the game. I would not have a quest cape if there was no guide. I would give up.
But do you still have a quest cape?
Yeah, I still have it. You learn Monkey Madness 2. Well, I think Dragon Slayer 2 was like the most complex thing. Like that was like one of the first times where a boss battle was actually insane. And you had to learn things.
I feel like that's probably like the hardest quest in the game.
I mean, Monkey Madness 2 would have been good if there wasn't safe spotting mechanics for 2 of the phases.
Yeah.
Because that's something they screw up a lot with new quests, is like, oh, there's a way to safe spot this quest boss. Great. Because I feel like, you can safe spot just about like 70% of the bosses in this game. You can look at the wilderness bosses as an example. They're like real big and tough. They can one-hit you, but you can safe spot like 99% of them. So that is the ideal way to make a quest, is have it, if there's a boss, make it non-safe spotable, make it an actual challenge and mechanical understanding. Same thing goes for puzzles. I really hope it's like that.
I think it should be. I mean, if they're hyping it up for a year, so it better be worth the while being very difficult.
That's a good point.
It would be really sad if this was hyped up to what they're currently calling like the hardest puzzle ever created in the game, and then one person figures it out and anyone else can do it with a guide in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like that's just
is that what they're calling it? They're calling it the hardest?
They are saying it is the hardest puzzle.
Oh yeah,
as far as I'm aware.
The puzzle's one thing.
I don't like that.
Yeah, no, the puzzle's one thing, but I think there needs to be more elements to it that makes it amazing. I feel like I really hope they don't just focus on this puzzle.
Yeah. Like, I hope it's not just like, all right, we need to make this shit as hard as possible, and that's all this quest is.
This puzzle's gotta fucking suck.
Yeah.
What's that? You know what I'm actually really excited for? What's the name of that elf? And I think it's the elf that you recharge the.
Ilfine?
Ilfine, yeah.
I think
Is that
it's
the one?
Ilfine.
No, the one you recharge the crystal with.
Yes.
Yes.
That's her name.
Ilfine or whatever.
Oh, well, Ma G made her look smoking, let me tell you. And I'm excited to see the new model be implemented into the game.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
happening.
they're bringing our girl into the 21st century.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
She's
Yeah.
getting what she deserves. It's great.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
That was a weird way to say it.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
gonna prosper, okay? That's what I'm getting at here.
Right.
Yeah, so, Zuhar, you're going to have to get on it, all right?
Yeah. We're expecting some content to hit the front page of 2007 Scape sometime
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah. Settled, do you have a Questscape unsettled?
I do not anymore because the thing is I've completed every difficult quest. I had a Questscape at one point, and now I just can't be bothered to do the ones that take like 4 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I like that they add those into the game, but like I'm kind of in that same boat. Once you get it, it's like there's kind of no point. Kind of no point.
Especially because
anymore.
I'm maxed on that account, so I literally do not need a Questscape for anything.
Well, yeah,
and
that's exactly it. Because
yeah. Because I like when they add like a free-to-play quest or whatever. I'm very happy for the players who get to experience that content and actually get use out of it. But I just can't be bothered because I don't get anything out of it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
just think about it like this, okay? Once you actually get the Questscape, you're like, oh, that's awesome. You might even buy it. You might buy it, but if you have a fire cape or anything, that's not a Questscape, you're gonna wear that. So there's no point in actually trying to wear a Questscape.
No, unless you're Jimmy.
Well, yeah.
I love my Questscape. I have a crafting cape too.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's
really
cool.
great.
It's a nice shade of brown. It looks very
you have-
aesthetically pleasing.
Wait, how'd you even get 99 crafting?
You do air battle stabs. It's very easy. It's
Yeah, but,
AFK.
it's a very long process.
I
to
honestly
get
had
99.
I had no idea Jimmy had ever gotten a 99.
Yeah, that's
That's actually
what I'm
wild.
saying. That's what I'm saying. It's pretty.
There's
crazy.
this crazy thing called class, and a crazy thing called being on your laptop in class and not paying attention to class.
Yeah.
And you just click a bunch of times, and before you know
Well,
it,
see, the thing is, like, if I'm paying tuition, I'm not gonna be playing RuneScape in class.
oh, that's what I thought too. That's what I thought too.
Same.
Yeah.
That's you think that until you realize, hey, none of this is even going to be on the test anyway.
Yeah.
How about I go and bust out a new account real quick?
That's true. Oftentimes I like came to class in my one semester of college.
Not a big deal.
Not a big deal, guys. But and I was just like, why did I come today? There's literally nothing for me to do. So what? I feel that.
Yeah.
But we had like strict stuff about being on phones or laptops or whatever. So
With the rate of out-of-state tuition right now that I'm paying, I should be able to freely walk into a class blasting a Beats pill of my favorite current song and not pay any repercussions for that because
I feel that.
It is ridiculous how much I'm paying, let alone if I glance at my phone for a second. Like take it easy, okay? I'm very stressed out financially for being here in the first place.
At the end of the day, like if you don't want to, even if it was a case of you not wanting to learn, like they should let you because you're like it's not their problem.
Yeah,
Right.
pretty much. Yeah, and something you should say that all professors would love to hear is that I'm paying your salary. Another group of people that like to hear that too are the police, because you tell them that you're paying their salary and taxes. They just love hearing that. They normally let you go after that.
So I have zero clue whatsoever how we got to harassing police for taxes, but I would like to talk about Runefest because that's the next thing on our list, and we had brought it up on the initial conversation because you guys have both been there. I haven't. I'm going this year, hopefully. I think I'm going to, and we're all gonna have a big group hug. It's gonna be beautiful. I got invited with a ticket, and that's really awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
That was very kind. You two are getting the VIP famous people treatment. I'm not jealous.
I love how it's on the document as Jim Pity Ticket.
Yeah, I wrote that. Yeah. I may have wrote that the day I found out, and it's fine. It's fine. I'm glad to be going this year.
He's not even upset. He's very happy.
I'm very pleased.
But yeah, we definitely did get the full ride, so that's pretty cool. I mean, honestly,
we all sure did.
Yeah,
Clapping
all
for you
three
guys.
of us.
I'm
clapping for three of us.
All the people that matter in this call got a full ride.
We love you, Jimmy.
It might sound silly, but like I kind of like get a little anxious thinking like, oh, like are they gonna actually invite me? Because I don't know. Like, isn't it always like up in the air if there even is gonna be a Runefest each year? Because
Is there? I thought it's like a guaranteed thing.
I don't know.
When has there not been one?
Well, I don't think that. I think that there's pretty much always going to be Runefests, from this point on. It just like a few years ago, like I vaguely remember there being something about that. But regardless, it's always a really cool thing to think that what you're doing in the game actually has a real world consequence. Like as a result, you're getting flown for free to England or wherever. I should know that. It's not like I've only been there 2 other times before, but.
No, big deal. Kevin, how's the private jet experience that they provide you?
Private.
I'm gonna be very honest. The service has been absolutely just terrible. Last time I asked them to bring me water, I think it took them 13 seconds. That's 10 seconds more than I kind of would have liked.
What carat of gold were the toilet seats in the plane?
I'm just gonna make up a number because I don't know what carats.
I don't know how they work. I'm just
yeah. I know 24 karat gold. That's got to be the max.
There's
anything
no way
anything
more
under
than that.
24 carats, I literally will not get on the plane because I need to have the greatest comfort when doing my number 2.
I bet you pay attention when they're teaching you about the safety procedures too.
Well, it's right in your face.
What, do you not?
It's right in your face.
I don't think I've listened to their procedures
Jamie,
in 10 years.
any day that you go up in a metal box and then land in a metal box and come out with all of your limbs is a good day. Okay?
Right.
I think the least you could do is sit there and clap for the pilot who doesn't want to hear it.
Okay, I thought you were lecturing me about not listening to the safety procedures, as if any of those safety procedures are going to matter in the slightest if we crash and burn in the
they
plane. Oh, wear your seatbelt. It'll stop the explosion and impact from killing you when we
Jimmy,
crash
have you
into the
seen
ground.
have you seen Sully?
Sully.
Yeah. When all those people
Captain Sully. Yeah. He landed it in the Antarctic
and all those
Ocean.
people, they lived because they watched the safety video, and
There's
you wouldn't
no
be
way.
one of them.
There's no.
Yeah.
I feel like there's maybe 3 or 4 of them that actually paid attention, and they passed it along when needed.
Yeah, Jim, I think literally all of them paid attention.
All right, Jimmy, cabin pressure is getting low. What do you do?
The tire pressure?
No,
Cabin pressure.
The cabin pressure. What do I do?
Yeah.
There's a thing that comes and pops down, and they're like, "Oh yeah, breathe, but don't help the kids first. You're more important when you put yours on, then you put theirs on." It's very exciting. Yeah.
Oh, he
no,
actually
I
does watch
listen
the
because
safety
you have to listen once. You listen once in your lifetime, and after that, you never need to listen again because they don't change. There's not much you can really do to change those
actually,
procedures to
you know
be
what,
more
Jim?
effective.
You know what, Jim? You're right. They should just stop fucking playing the safety video on the off chance that people who haven't flown before just decide to fucking fly, because people that have never heard that before don't need to fucking know, oh, yeah, I'll fucking pull this mask over and breathe. No, they're going to help their stupid fucking kids, and then they're going to die as a result.
Because their kids can't help them because they're weak little freaking...
Weak-minded individuals that don't watch Swampletics.
Okay,
right?
so
if you watch Swampletics, that's the first thing you know.
Okay,
put your freaking safety mask on.
Theoretically, you're on a plane. You've never listened to any instructions before, and a mask that clearly looks like a mask pops in front of your face. You're not gonna play with it like a cat, and you're not gonna be like, "Oh, look at this. I'm just gonna hit it."
What if they're trying to poison me? What if it's for people with asthma? I'm like, oh, I don't have asthma. I'll just leave it right there.
You think that just doesn't that doesn't make sense, man? I'll be honest with you.
Jim, I'm getting in the mind of a person that has never watched the safety video. More or less, I'm trying to get in your mind. Okay.
I remembered this. Okay, all right. So me and Kevin, we met each other in New York. Okay, I flew out to New York, and this is something that happened on this flight. I'm gonna stay true to my word here. Was not really listening to the safety video that was playing on the seat on the seat in front of me, and I look over and they're talking about don't pick things up if you drop them. If you drop it in your seat, don't pick it up. Call an attendant over and have her dumbass bend over and pick it up for you. So this is where it gets insane. This is what really threw me the curveball of the flight. On the video, it's an animated character, and you'd think, oh, they're gonna show him dropping his phone or maybe his earphones. I don't know, something. His face falls off. His literal face falls on the floor, and the attendant comes by, picks up the man's face, and just puts it back on him. Just here you go, sir. I can't make this shit up. I
don't
can't.
think this happened.
This happened.
I feel like you just made this up.
You could definitely make that up, by the way.
Someone out there that's listening will know what I'm talking about, and they can vouch for this. This was absurd.
No,
I don't know how they're
not commenting.
It was
because...
Delta. If you've ever ridden Delta, you'll know this video. That's what it was.
Well, now that we're done talking about things that never happened, how about we move on to something that we actually should probably talk. Wait, we were talking about Runefest, right? We kind of
We got about 30 seconds into that conversation.
Yeah. Started talking about that. Yeah.
This is the slacking off podcast.
This is actually very
we're slacking,
very relatable to
we all have raging ADHD. Don't judge us. We're just trying to have fun, okay?
The only thing I would like to say again about Runefest really quick, because this is the only thing I have to say about it, is I really hope that they decide to have more than a few categories, because otherwise I am not winning any award for the third year in a row that I've been invited.
I really think you have a shot for that one category.
What, best series locked to a grid?
Yeah.
Oh, you've got that one.
That.
You've got that one. But I did have a new series idea that I wanted to run across you, but it was pretty similar to Kevin's.
Completing quests in a grid.
In the grid. Only in the grid.
Within the grid.
Yeah. But I'm going to call it chunks to sound really quirky.
Yeah.
Chunk locked.
Chunk locked. Wait, okay, so this is actually a question I've been pondering. This has been bothering me lately because I've never been to one of these things. I don't know how to act. I know how to act socially sometimes, but here's the thing. Do you guys wear your own merch when you go there? Are you going to?
I have never had merch beforehand. Well, okay. I've never had good merch beforehand.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. Not saying I started now, but I at least think
Frame,
it's
there's
passable.
gonna be like one person wearing your old merch watching this video.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Yeah, dude, I just lost a fan. But listen, I think for the time they were quirky and fun enough, but now they gotta upgrade. They gotta upgrade to the new hotness. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you guys didn't answer my question. When you go there this year,
I just did answer your question.
No, you didn't.
I've never had it. I've never had merch before. So
okay.
no, if I've never had merch, that would mean no, I've never worn my merch.
Okay, well we all know
Runefest.
Swampletics over here has like way too much merch at this point.
Well, here's the
thing. Are you wearing one of your things?
If you go up on stage and your shirt is, a buyable shirt is on you, then that's a free plug. Of course.
Well, I'm gonna be real blatantly honest with you here. A big reality check. About 6 J-mods are gonna be wearing your Swampletics shirt at Runefest already.
Yeah.
I don't think that's something you have to worry about. Me on the other hand,
then maybe I'll wear like a nice collared shirt.
Maybe some
or something.
khakis collared shirt. I think that's
I'm gonna be wearing it under my collared shirt, and then when I go up on stage, I'm gonna rip it off like Superman.
Yeah,
and then
be
you're
like,
gonna scream gridlock.
Yeah, just to confuse everyone.
People will love that.
People would love that. Fantastic.
I mean, I was gonna say buy release, but like that's not fun. That's not a fun thing.
I was thinking the same thing though. I was literally about to say gridlock.
It's not buy release isn't a fun thing you can scream though.
That's one of the only things that's really bothered me about my own series is it doesn't really have a ring to it. It doesn't have that like
buy release.
As it releases,
like
as the quest release, I play it.
And I feel like that's also one of those things. I mean, granted, Swampletics isn't even a word, but by release, if you translate that into any other language, it doesn't mean anything. So no one can really understand that.
What, by release?
By release.
I'm sure it does. I don't think you know much about languages, to be honest, Jim.
You're not wrong. But I don't know anything.
But
about
either way, I think Swampletics actually is an actual thing now. It's an actual word because the definition of word, which I am going to make up on the spot, is something. It's a way that you can describe something. It's a way to fuck you, Jim.
Okay. All right.
I agree with this statement.
Swampletics is a
and
fucking word. Fuck you.
honestly, if Swampletics ever made it to the English dictionary, I'd probably I don't know. That's when you know you've made it. When you get a word added to the English dictionary.
Yeah, I'm not looking at the articles. Dude.
Yeah.
Forbes?
Yeah, well,
no, that's not for me.
Gridlock's in there already, so I feel
now,
That's true,
discriminated.
actually.
Webster's is the real deal.
Hey guys, let's talk about Runefest.
There's nothing to talk about though.
Yes, there is. There's so much to talk about.
Jimmy spent so much time on this document, and you're not even going to give it consideration. He poured his heart and soul into this.
Can we talk
document.
about how expensive it is when you get to London and you need to Uber to this wasteland of a town?
I'm gonna tell everyone right now, do not get one of those airport taxis, like the ones that there's gonna be people walking up to you. They're gonna be like, hey, you want to ride into the city? And it's gonna cost you £100. You're gonna be crying once you get there. Don't do it. Okay, just do anything but that.
Also, when content creators get into Ubers, don't follow them. That happens a lot.
What?
That happens a lot. Yeah, that has happened the past few years.
Follow the car or get in?
No, that they literally just get in. It's like we would be getting sent back to to our hotel or whatever, and people would just fucking get in our car, and we all just kind of look at them like, what are you doing? But
how can someone be that
here's the thing.
Oblivious.
Dude, we're all freaking, we're content creators, so we don't want any bad press, and we're all too freaking shy to say, what we're truly thinking. So we kind of just sit there and we talk to them, and it might be a nice conversation, and the person might be a nice person, but don't do that. Don't just get into somebody's freaking car.
I mean, I'd just be like, excuse me, can you please get out? Because come on, what do you say?
Some guy's sitting there wearing the little Swampletics shirt. He's
okay, never mind.
He's breathing through his fucking mouth really heavy, saying, "I really love your Swampletics."
I'd melt, dude. I'd probably let him in the car. I'd probably be like, well, now everyone's gonna do it.
You'd let him into your fucking hotel room if you didn't fucking
at that point.
If he tried to follow you.
Well, if I'm privileged
don't let
enough,
him. Is the point. Yeah.
If I'm privileged enough to be in one of these vehicles, I will personally be the dedicated confrontational guy.
Great.
Because
That's good.
Jimmy will handle it.
I don't give a shit if that man is wearing a Swampletics shirt. It's very nice of him. Thank you for showing your support to my buddy. But you better get the literal fuck out of this car before I blow a gasket. That's all I'm gonna have to say.
I think the only person that actually had the balls to say anything was Skidler, and that's because Skidler's fucking.
Well,
awesome.
yeah, because he's
dude, Skidler's yeah, that's it, because he's Skidler.
How did he handle it?
Man, though.
What did he say?
I vaguely remember, but he would just politely say hey, how about you don't get into our fucking car? Thanks. but he handles
Politely.
it very handles it very cordially, like he's saying what we're all thinking at that point. So
dude, I can't imagine.
Talk to us as much as you want. That's not the issue. Just don't get in the fucking car when people are trying to go to bed.
I can't imagine someone doing that to Foe. They get in the car and he just rips off his shirt and David Hasselhoff flexes his muscles
propels
at them
50 feet away.
Yeah. Just stare him down. That's terrifying to think about.
Dude, honestly, I both respect and fear Foe, because you look at him in real life and he looks like he could just kill you with one look, just one snap of his fingers, and you were just dead.
I'm gonna arm wrestle him at Runefest.
That's gonna really not go in your favor.
You're not gonna have a good time. Yeah. Maybe you should remain anonymous as you do that. Maybe in a private area or something where no one else can see it.
Now that you've tweeted a picture of your face and your body and everything, now you should try to remain anonymous now that you're the number one creator on this whole freaking game. But yeah, that'll work for you. I'm sure it will.
Wait, so for Runefest, it's a Friday Saturday thing, right?
Yeah, I think Friday is the pre-party. I think it's at the same place it was last year. So I don't even think once you're kind of there as the creator, it's pretty easy because it's right next to everything. I'm actually not gonna leak any information right now because I feel like I might. So
yeah,
stop talking about it.
So when you get there on Friday, it's just like a little mingle fest. Everyone's just like, oh yeah, so look at these crackers and water that we have here, and they just talk to each other for a second, and then everyone goes home.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. They have
How'd
crackers
you?
and
I
water
thought you've
laid
never
out.
been.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm just making a guess here. That's how I would run it. So
Yeah. I'd put crackers and water, no cheese. Someone might be lactose intolerant.
maybe celery and
You
ranch.
gotta be mindful of everyone.
One thing, I don't even know if we've actually discussed this before, but
Probably not.
yeah, you don't even know what I'm about to say.
Don't say it.
Okay, well maybe we have then. I don't know, but you and I meeting. Did we do that at last Runefest?
Yeah, so we talked about. Well, the thing is, like, I'm pretty sure we talked about this, but
We've
it
talked
didn't
about
even
this.
end up being in the
Then we
last
talked about it
podcast.
tonight. Yeah.
I swear it wasn't in there because I rewatched it.
I have a goldfish memory though, so.
Yeah, well, I rewatched the Procrastinators podcast, and I figured we talked about that, but I did not find it in there. Probably because Jimmy hates us, and he cut it out.
edited it out. He's like, "Oh, fuck you guys!
Oh,
I'm
it's
talking
got
about me."
I got very jealous.
But anyway, I'm pretty sure we did because I remember going up to you, but I don't remember how our conversation went.
I don't because I would have remembered if you told me you were settled. That's the thing, because I watched you at that point in time.
Then he
And
would have
yeah.
given you.
I'm a real one, all right.
The thing is that I introduced myself as well.
I'm
Actually,
not
no, I
I'm not a
didn't introduce-
Swampletic stan, all right.
I don't think
I've-
I said settled to everyone. I said it to
Yeah.
like some people. I think.
Well, yeah, because I would have known who you were. Because
Yeah.
I remember the first video that I watched by you. I laughed, until I pissed. Because
Yeah, it was definitely out at that time because
Yeah.
I even like DM'd you on Twitter, because I asked you for thumbnail help. This was when I had like 35K subs or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, because there was the one video where like you had like a nice 15-second cinematic, and you said, "I don't have a bank."
Yeah.
Like, that was the funniest thing ever because people didn't even know what Ultimate Iron Man was at that point.
Yeah, like no one had any idea. Like I got questions about it every day because it's just a forgotten game mode. Like it's in my Twitter bio. It's X amount of subs from recording a dead game mode. Like when I started all this, I thought maybe like 5 people would be watching this. But I mean, turns out people like to watch other people suffer, and
no,
now
they do.
people know what the game mode is. So it's pretty great.
Yeah,
You know what I found was super fucking funny is the video before Swampletics 1 came out. I watched it for fun, and
Yeah.
you were like, I don't know, I get this new series coming out. I'm kind of nervous about it. I don't know. I'm really curious to see how
I do
people
remember
look.
saying that.
Yeah, and then you put it out, and everyone didn't know how to handle themselves. And it was very
Yeah.
cool to
Yeah,
see.
I was extremely nervous to release it because at that point I had like 3 or 4 episodes ready to go, and I was really doubting myself. I was like, I don't know if people are gonna like this concept. They're probably gonna think it's stupid, and
It is.
yeah, here we are.
Yeah. Yeah, that like as a creator, that is like one of the most nerve-wracking things. Like you're sitting
Releasing
there,
a new
yeah,
series?
Yeah, like you're thinking about this idea that you've been forming for a while. You're trying to plan it out and everything.
Yeah.
And then like the biggest anxiety is actually uploading it. Like when it comes time to doing it, because doing it is always fun, unless it's some stupid convoluted crap. But like most of the time, if you're if you really think it out, then it's not going to be that. But it's one of the worst and best feelings to actually release it, because like you're sitting there, like you're watching like the view count, you're watching people like actually talk about it,
Interact with it, etc. Yeah.
The one thing I will say though is that on new series ideas, there's normally a lot of people that are supportive, but it's normally like the most vocally disliked episode out of all of it too. Like people
Usually that first. I remember when I first released that. Actually, I was extremely worried because normally at the time my videos got like, I don't know, maybe 50 dislikes. That first episode within the first like 24 hours got like 150 dislikes. I was like, holy shit, people really don't like this idea.
but that's
it
every
had
one of my videos, by the way, but go on.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that, but
Yeah.
for me it was unexpected because that's a lot more than I usually get. I'm like, what did I do wrong? And but it
But that's kind of what we do as creators, which is like a bit of a silly thing, is that you tend to focus on the negative more than the positive.
Yeah, even
at
though
first.
the likes are literally like 30 times higher, you're gonna focus on
Yeah,
hey, what did people not like?
Yeah, it's not even oh, I hate myself, I'm always bad sort of deal. It's just because you care so much about this thing that you're doing and you just want everybody to be able to like it. And
yeah, exactly.
I would say most of the actual arguments for why people don't even like it are normally, not actual points too. Like it's normally just like a preference thing, or like they just think that you copied
I think
or something.
when it comes to like new ideas and releasing them, people are instantly just going to be kind of skeptical about it, and they're going to voice their distaste for it, and after that, obviously the people who liked it are going to keep watching. So I think that first episode is just always going to be criticized a lot more heavily, because people are like, hey, this isn't what I'm used to watching, and they're just going to dislike it. I mean,
it's the new idea of it, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that. I understand that it's hard to open up to new things, because we're literally all playing a video game that was made in 2007, and we're still playing that. So like that's kind of how like this community sort of is, like always like kind of. I don't necessarily.
It's very the community is very skeptical of new stuff.
Yeah. And here's the thing that normally gets me too. It's not just me, but like whenever a new concept gets released, people will always try to say that you copied an idea.
Yeah.
Which I don't fully understand the logic behind that. And the thing is, it doesn't even matter if you like show proof.
Exactly.
Like, people always kind of have like this conception in their mind. Or the notion.
Yeah. I know that like when you released your series, you had a clip of you literally having the idea like a year ago, and then people still say, I don't know, who do they call you out for copying?
It was One Chunk Man, which at that point I hadn't even watched his videos, and then I heard about him, of course, but I hadn't watched his videos, and then I saw it, like he actually had like on his 2 episodes like almost 500,000 views, which that's awesome. I like that. Yeah. Like specific ideas like that like are able to grow so huge, but I didn't think that people would even say that. If anything, I thought that they would say something like, oh, like you're copying Swampletics by doing a new series. As stupid as that sounds, but people say that. People say
I see
that,
and I get so angry. Because just whatever is most popular, I guess it's always gonna be like held up on some kind of pedestal, and anyone else who tries like anything remotely, even in the slightest, the same, is going to get called out for it.
Yeah, which it's ridiculous, because there's a clear and obvious distinction between copying something and being inspired by something. I think a lot of people have been inspired by Swampletics, and I think that's a great thing, because of the amount of quality that you've brought. But then people say, oh, you're just copying him. It's like, no. Like people are just inspired by it. Like when I watch videos by other creators, not even from within RuneScape, like outside of RuneScape and everything, like Donkey or someone, or like any video that you just really enjoy, you get inspired by it, as a creator. And you want to be able to go, oh, that was such a great video, I want to be able to do something like that. It seemed like it was so much fun to make, and I just really enjoyed it overall. And most people, outside of this community, I think, are always open to that. But I think it's just like this thing within the RuneScape community. It's a stigma. But like it's because people are like trying to like, watch out like for you, like people would like want, like people don't want you being copied. Like they're trying to like, I think, advocate for you almost.
Just like how everyone. I think the biggest thing that I see is comments on creators like copying Bodhi's personality.
Oh, yeah. That's just people from Manchester, though, is it not?
I mean,
all of them talk like that.
Yeah, but I think they mean like copying his like energy, or his
not all of them, by the way, but yeah.
Yeah. I meant like copying his energy, copying his like sayings, because people think he like owns them.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of people, seeing as he is, or has been, probably the most popular streamer, or I would even say he's kind of like the face of the game.
He pretty much
people have watched him for a long time. You're going to pick a couple things up that he's said and kind of throw them into your own vocabulary.
If anything, I'm sure it flatters him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because so many people watch you and so many people love you. It's just people are going to eventually pick up on that too. But I was specifically talking about how people from like his area, like I've noticed that like this is what they've said, not even what I'm saying, that they all kind of have those mannerisms because that's just kind of that's how it is. That's how it is in the world. If you live in a certain spot, everybody talks.
You're gonna pick things up from that area.
Yeah, exactly. But then people will kind of just say like, "Oh, you're copying Bodhi." It's like, regardless, like I get the frustration with it because like you don't want to just watch a clone of someone, but people are like I think people shouldn't necessarily look at it with such a a vicious eye, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I completely understand the whole even how you showed proof, people are still gonna give you shit for it, because I literally did this. I have the same exact situation as you, in fact, because in my first episode I put proof that I had an idea for a Karamja only Ultimate Iron Man in 2017, and after Verf made his series and then I made mine after, I still get called out for copying that idea, even though I was part of his inspiration for making that series. And it frustrates me to no end because I see it on Reddit a lot. Yeah. But people are just gonna believe what they believe, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where like you kind of have to just accept that everyone's gonna think whatever they think, and people are just gonna like if people are negative, if people have a negative idea of you or whatever, it's probably not going to change. And that's part of being a creator, though. You have to really accept that fact that people are going to dislike you for seemingly no reason, no valid reason, no legitimate reason, an obviously provably wrong
but you just can't change that. It is what it is.
It pretty much is. Jim, are you dead?
No, I'm chilling.
He's just listening.
I have a funny story about this kind of idea, though.
Yeah, I want to hear it. Yeah.
So I think this was, I put out the second episode of By Release, and there was a guy who was so upset that I wasn't going into the lore of, I think the specific one was Romeo and Juliet, and he was very, very upset that I did not go into the lore of this.
The love story by Shakespeare. He was sad that you didn't go into the lore.
He was very sad.
So I think he has a valid point.
So he proceeded to make his own series where he reads every line of dialogue in every quest. But here's the thing. He did 2 quests on it was a hardcore Iron Man. He did 2 quests. It was 2 episodes. And halfway through the second episode, he goes out and he goes, I think I'm going to actually PK. And he goes out and he PKs on like his level 15 hardcore Iron Man, and he dies. He is not uploaded in months. And that was that. But I'm glad he made his point that he was so upset. How did you not tell us?
How did you not tell us this before?
I forgot all about that. I forgot all about that.
I can't believe this hasn't been brought up.
Yeah. So
I feel like that's something that we would have discussed before. But
dude, I totally kind of spaced that until this conversation. But I think it was
I get
at the same time. I was like, you know what? I'm glad that I inspired this guy to start a series. Sure, he didn't make it too far, and he kind of lost complete grip of what he was doing, but that's still really cool. And I'm glad that maybe people did get inspiration. He was just a commenter. He was a commenter, and I think by the second episode, he had enough. He couldn't stand to see this blasphemy of a series not reading every line of dialogue, so he took it upon himself to make it.
Oh my gosh.
Props to him for doing that, but I think he realized very quickly that there's a lot of dialogue to read in this game, and that would bore everybody to death if you just read every single line. There's NPCs in this game.
There would be quests that would literally be like an hour long. Like the episodes would literally be hours long.
Dude, yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
You just get the general idea out of it. Listen, I think he just is asking for a RuneScape history channel. I think that's what he wants.
And that exists.
I think. Yeah. I mean, it was an ambitious idea, but you know what?
Yeah.
It just sometimes.
What did he call the series? Stars. What did he call the series? Reading the quests?
I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't. He literally started the series by saying like, it was like, yeah, this is I kind of got this idea from Jimmy. He said the dialogue and the starting quests are pretty boring, but I don't think they're very boring actually. So I'm gonna read them, and then he did that, and that was it.
Okay.
It was.
I'm gonna go
pretty
PKing.
cool.
I'm gonna go PKing on my second episode just to
Reading quest lines sucks. I'm doing this now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna understand that.
No one's gonna get.
Check out all of our second channels, everybody.
Speaking of which, is the guacamole that you've been making still in the oven? Settled?
Yes. We should probably. I'm gonna put the tweet up so people get some context. But yes, it is still in the oven. It is still fermenting. I'm probably gonna take it out probably around Runefest time so I can bring it around, share it.
Yeah,
It's just like
nice.
wine. You have to age wine. with
Yeah,
alcohol.
exactly.
Wait,
Has
yeah,
to ferment.
you age wine in the oven.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like guac. Yeah.
It's the same thing.
And here's the thing. There is actually a story behind it, and you'll probably never hear it. So
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
before we move completely off topic of this, I wanted to bring this up because it was something that was recently announced, and it had to do with Song of the Elves, so I should have brought it up earlier, but they're doing another video competition, and I think all of us should enter it. All three of us.
All
You
three
talking
of
about
us.
all three of us? I don't know.
Literally,
if I have
literally
time
all
for
of us.
that.
I think we should set aside all of our priorities, add a chance to get a $200 Amazon UK voucher.
Jimmy, I love this idea, but
Right.
I'm gonna have to respectfully decline.
Well,
Yeah,
here's the thing.
Fuck you, Jim. You fucking asshole.
So here's the thing. I have two options because,
Uh-huh.
as you both know very well, one of my life's biggest achievements is winning the Great Karen video competition. It's
Yeah,
a
you're
very
right.
big moment.
You hold that over.
You literally,
everybody.
you
That was-
literally never talk about that.
That was a
because
huge.
you're so humble.
I felt like I went into the WWE Championship and I beat the shit out of that competition. I held the belt above my head and I still walk around the streets and neighborhoods with it holding over my head.
Yeah,
so,
and you lost the last two competitions before that. But go on.
I did. It took me. You know what? Third time's a charm. That's all it took. And I had
That's
two
motivational,
options.
man. That's
Right.
motivational.
That-
Jimmy
that-
entered three
yeah.
times. He won
So
the
I
third
could-
time.
I could
Yeah.
either defend my title and have a chance of buying something for 100 pounds on Amazon UK and spending the other 100 on shipping, or I can pass down the belt to a new reigning champion. And I'm thinking I'm leaning towards the latter there because I'd like to see what other people can make. I think there's a lot
Jimmy,
of skill
Jimmy
out
is
there.
so humble that he
I-
knows he will win
yeah.
if he enters.
Yeah,
And-
that's exactly it. Nobody's even gonna enter because Jimmy won a competition once.
Yeah,
Right.
that's just the way it is sometimes.
Jimmy, listen, I appreciate where you're coming from, but I don't even know
I
how
don't,
to.
honestly.
I don't know how to spell half the freaking elves' names in that goddamn city, let alone fucking make a whole video on the quest and the lore and everything. But I do
Well-
appreciate the offer. I might make a very poorly done version of it, to where about none of the information is correct, but that is as far as you're getting me.
Well, I don't know if you've watched my winning champion video or not, but I'm pretty sure I pronounced all 7 Zaya cities wrong in that submission. So it wouldn't really be an
Talented.
obstacle if you wanted to give a crack at it. I don't know. I'm not pressuring you or anything, but I'm saying I think you got some potential there.
Yeah, well, if I upload
I
it
think
on
you
my,
do too.
my junk channel,
Oh.
I guess maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that'd be pretty cool. I don't know.
You took a shot with that name change today. I think you could take a shot with this.
Yeah, that's very true.
I'm just trying to inspire you. You're a good
Yeah.
guy. I care about you.
Here's I really appreciate that, Jim. And
Yeah.
speaking of caring about things, I know that we weren't supposed to talk about this right now, but how'd you get hacked?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Do you actually care about
How's
account
your
security?
account security?
Yeah, do you
How's
care about
it
that?
going?
Or?
I can't even say. I'm kind of terrified right
I mean,
now.
I've been hacked before too, but I
Okay,
want
listen.
to hear your thing.
So
I want to
listen,
hear
it was
how
this-
this happened.
This was the first time I've ever gotten hacked, and I could say I'm very upset, I'm very frustrated, I'm very mad at the account security measures. But two things. One, my security measures did not exist on that account. There was none. There was no authenticator, no bank pin. I deserve it. Two, if I express any sort of disagreement with it, I'm very scared for myself and the implications I will face if I say this account security stuff needs some work.
Oh, that's very brave of you to say.
It is very brave. I don't want to say I'm scared, but other people have taken that route, and we're getting some progress because they're brave.
A lot of people have been getting hacked, but at the very least, it's being acknowledged by Jagex. And the one thing I will say, because they're paying me to say it, of course, is that we don't know what is actually happening with like behind the scenes. We don't actually know. That was a joke, by the way. I'm not getting paid, but I would love to get paid to talk about this. We don't know what's happening behind the scenes with Jagex. So to give them the benefit of the doubt, it could be very hard to actually take these measures to actively stop people from getting hacked. I would say that an optional authenticator delay, would be good. That if you turn that on, kind of like the bank pin, it would take 3 days to turn off or whatever. So let's say somebody hacks into your account and they want to turn that option off, it would take 3 days. So you don't have to opt into it.
That is a genius idea. I have no idea how you came up with that.
I'm sure that it is told to them every single day. Yes.
I don't think it's ever been mentioned before, actually. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's come on. It's just such a simple thing.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's not.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that it is.
Oh,
but
okay. That's
maybe
what you're
it's
saying.
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's not though. Yeah, but like
it definitely seems like a simple thing.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. But here's the other side of the argument. What if it's not, or what if it is a simple thing? Like what if it is? What if it isn't? It doesn't matter. It's their job. They're losing their customers. We're pissed about it because we care about the game. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just been. Even if it is a difficult thing, I feel like it should absolutely be a top priority because I have seen so many things solely on Twitter of people getting hacked and quitting. Rank 15 overall got hacked. 3.5 billion XP account gone. He is no longer playing. It's sad, man.
Yeah.
It should be a priority, no matter how difficult it is to do.
And I've heard like people that like actively have hacked RuneScape accounts, like the big names in it. They have literally sent messages to Jagex. They've emailed them all of these tips that they can follow of how they went about actually hacking people and what they can do to prevent it. And apparently none of it has ever been implemented. So again, just to play devil's advocate, maybe they are just bluffing on that. Maybe none of that information would actually help them, but still, it seems like at this point something should have been done.
Right.
And I will say I have even been affected by this, not recently, but back in the beginning of old school when Zora came out. When was that? Like 2014, somewhere around then.
Yeah. 2014. February, I think.
So what I was doing was I was doing Zora. This was on my main account, Framed. I was doing Zora, and I really wanted to upgrade to it was like an ACB or something like that. Yeah, I think it was an ACB, which was like 30-40 mil at the time, something like that. I really wanted to have an expensive item to do it with because I was doing it with like a rune crossbow or something like that. Like I wanted to be able to actually use an expensive item, but I never really like to have expensive items just on the off chance that I get hacked. You know what I mean? But like I had like a 200 mil bank or something like that. Maybe like like 50 mil in my inventory or whatever. I was like, you know what? Screw it. Why not? I will go and get an ACB. So I got an ACB. I was doing Zora. I was having a really good time. It was so fun. Literally the next fucking day out of nowhere, I get hacked. I've never been hacked before that. I just get fucking.
It's crazy, man.
Actually, I think it was hacked one other time, but that's a story for another time. But like, I get hacked like at a fucking seemingly nowhere. And they take my ACB. Like this thing that I was going back and forth with myself for like weeks to decide whether or not I'm going to buy it because I don't want it, my account to get hacked. I don't want to, invest in an item and then have it crash. Finally fucking pull the trigger on it and it get hacked like the next fucking day.
It really do be like that sometimes.
Yeah, it was unfortunate.
It really do.
And I went to go and I tweeted at Matt K and everyone. I made a video on it, and they said, oh, well, your authenticator wasn't actually switched on, and I had no fucking clue about that. Like I think that it turns off when you switch your email or something like that. I don't remember when I switched my email. Like after that, I made a freaking specific email for my account, and now I think that it's really obvious if people are going to try to hack me. So I really don't think it would ever work at this point. Or if it fucking does, then you'll see me bitching about it on in a video. But
So what do we? I mean, okay. What do we think the reason is for not implementing it? Because as far as I'm aware, I guess one of the main arguments here is, well, what if the average player loses their phone and they can no longer access their account, but they weren't that invested, so they're just gonna quit the game because, well, I can't log in.
No matter what, those people aren't going to be your longtime subscribers.
Absolutely.
It does not matter. I know that
those are not the people who matter, but also at the same time, you can remember the account for 30 days. Yeah. So you would have to literally lose your phone on that renewal day for it to affect you, for a trade-off for permanent account security. I mean, I think that's a good price to pay. I think that's a terrible argument against it.
Yeah, and the only possible thing is like, okay, yeah, that's the argument. Okay, here's the solution. How about you make it optional? Right. You don't have to automatically have this.
Which that we have no idea how difficult it is. I don't really know how difficult that is. But optional, that would literally be best of both worlds. Literally no possible room for complaints at that point. Yeah. Switch it off if you don't want it. Switch it on if you do.
Yeah, but again, I think that is the only, actual response to it is that, they don't want to lose customers. But again, those are people that if they care that much, then they will wait a few days. But if they don't care, then they didn't care anyway. The content in the game wasn't captivating enough for them to want to stay. So fair enough. It sucks, and you're a business. You have to look at those aspects. But at the same time, if you're losing all of your actual loyal fan base, the people that will stay with you for
people
years
who have been
and
there
years
for
to come,
literal over a decade,
then is that not worse? I understand that you are marketing to the newer audience of your game. That's my freaking degree. I went for marketing, so I would like to at least pretend I know a little bit of something like this. Otherwise, I just wasted a lot of money for no reason. But the big part of marketing is to get new players, but you need to keep your old players too. You need to keep the lights on, so to speak. And the people that are going to do that aren't going to be the new players. They're going to be your loyal fan base. I don't want to say the only reason, but I feel like it's a safe assumption to say one of the strongest reasons that RuneScape 3 is still going right now is due to microtransactions. The reason why the microtransactions are so prevalent and popular is because they are getting those seals of customers that will just don't want to freaking train 99, so they will just sit there and buy tons of lamps. And fair enough, that's what that game is. I'm not talking negatively on it anymore. I think that there is good aspects to that game, but regardless, that is the reason why the game is even alive at that point, is because of your loyal customers. I really don't think that there's that many people going into RuneScape 3. I think that people accidentally go into RuneScape after they've watched old school videos and they're like, oh, I guess this, you can't play this version of the game, and then they find out like a week later, oh, you can. I just went onto the wrong website. I didn't go. I
think
the
for
old
a
school
long
website.
time, old school didn't. I want to check on the RuneScape website now, but I think old school had like the tiniest. It still does. It has a really tiny little box.
Yeah, it's not really advertised on the main website, and they promised years ago that they were going to change that, and they never did.
Even though the player base is so much bigger, and I'm sure most people will visit runescape.com instead of Googling old school RuneScape.
And that's exactly it. And then they even borrow the freaking number of players online
106,000
They'll put that on
Those
top.
Are connected.
Yeah, they are connected.
Meanwhile,
80,000
of those.
That's kind of a joke.
School.
I don't know. Like this isn't this isn't an OSR's versus RS3 issue because again, I
no,
think,
no, it's not. It's just
I think that game is very beautiful looking, by the way, just for the sake of the argument, but
no disrespect.
Yeah.
Great female character bodies in that game, let me tell you.
Jimmy's silent for like 5 minutes, then comes back and says that.
Yeah, well, listen, thank you to our amazing graphics artist that we have in the old school team now, Mod G. We are getting beautiful women in our game too. So, I think that, everyone's a winner here.
Especially me.
Yeah, especially you, Jim. But you still never really elaborated on you're getting hacked.
Oh yeah.
I was about to, but
you really weren't. You were just kind of shop shocking.
You guys were maybe spit.
Yeah, well, that's what we do.
You got, there you go.
Yeah.
No, I was just at home.
Maybe I did. I'm just a rude person, like I am being right now. Go ahead.
Yeah. Interrupt me again. It's so fun. Just kidding. I was home for vacation. I was playing this new account. I was having fun building a pure because I thought to myself, I could kill people. Big mistake, first and foremost. Probably not gonna kill people ever. So I'm training it. I go to log on the next morning, and it's like, you haven't logged out from your last session. And I was like, oh, that's funny because I did like 9 hours ago. So I keep trying to log in, and it's just it's not logging in. Is the moral of the story here. So I freak out, and I do what every other RuneScape player does when they freak out, and I tweet all the J-mods who don't have anything to do with account security, and I let them know I'm hacked because I want them to feel bad for me and probably roll me back, even though that's just not something they do. But I had my hopes up. But I got back into the account. I immediately disabled the authenticator that they put on because I hadn't put it on yet.
Oh my gosh.
And I kept trying to log in, and I logged into the account, and I was in Mauritania, funny enough.
Hello.
Yeah. And I was running. They had transferred all my items. It was probably like 40 or 50 mil worth of shit that I had stacked on there. And I went to the bank. It's all gone. And then they were in Mauritania doing something. I don't understand what they were doing. I think they were trying to do another quest. They did Priest in Peril for me, which was very kind of them. But they were trying to do another quest, I think, to do some sort of botting activity in Mauritania. And I don't know what they were doing. But I had not told anybody the name of the account or anything, or let alone the login. So I'm assuming it was... I was an idiot. I've used the same password for so long, and it was linked to like a RuneScape forum from when I was in elementary school, and that thing got like hacked or something. And there must be a giant compiled list of logins and names from these old RuneScape forums that aren't even around anymore, and they must just be like trying to log into all of these names every day. That's the only thing I could really think of, because it was the same email and the same login I used when I was a kid, and I just never really changed it.
And that's a very important part to highlight, is that if you do have a RuneScape account, that you have the same email for like your RuneScape account. If you never want it to be hacked, at least I won't say never, but if you want it to be a very strong chance that it won't get hacked, make a new email specifically just for the account. Don't have it be anything in relation to the name of the account. So like don't call it like buyrelease@gmail.com or something like that, or release me at Gmail.
Jimmy's getting hacked tonight.
Don't do that. Name it something like dogfucker97 or something. And then two-step that email, with Google or whatever themselves. And then And then
here's something. Here's a good tactic I learned from. Actually, Colanello told me about this that you can do. You can type in an email that, as long as it's not registered, it doesn't even have to be a real email. The email that I use for my new accounts that I make, it's like emails that aren't even on Gmail or Yahoo or anything. They don't exist on there, but you can still make your login those emails that aren't real. And then once you make the account, you log in, you go to the account settings and you set your real email. So even if people do find out your email that you're using to log in, they can't do anything with it because it's not real. So
That's true.
But when you do need to send, if Jagex ever needs to send you an actual email, they have your real email through your account settings. So you don't need to even risk it at all.
Oh, that's so good.
Thanks for listening to my TED Talk, by the way.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Jimmy, we've been talking for hours, all right? It's good to hear that you have thoughts of your own.
I do. They're very, very rare occasion, but they're here.
So our final topic of today is going to be Deadman, which we are currently in the midst. In the midst?
Whatever.
It's definitely in the midst. I don't know why I said mist. Anyway, we are in the midst of the final Deadman Mode tournament, which, what's the deal with that? Is it, like, actually not coming back? I'm not really too familiar with Deadman stuff. I feel like Framed, this is kind of your...
I feel like it probably, will come back because it makes them a lot of money, gets them a lot of new, players.
Yeah.
But
popular event.
Yeah. I think that it's a good thing that they are reworking it, but like it'll probably come back. It's popular on Twitch, not necessarily with the players because
right.
I'm using that as a standpoint from look at how many people try to actually play the season. Nobody ever likes to play the seasonal.
Yep.
And
or if they do, it's dead in like
it dies.
days.
It dies very fast. And that's why I haven't really even played it anymore. That and the tournament because it just dies really fast and like I just don't have any motivation for it. When Jagex hasn't really cared about PvP time and time again. And like to their credit, they are starting to now, which is good. It kind of feels like it's a little too little, too late, but they're pulling it because they want to make it right as they're saying as a direct quote from them. But I don't know, like I think it could also be used as a good marketing tactic, like last Deadman Mode ever, like works for everybody involved, content
That's
creators.
true. Yeah.
But overall, I think I'm pretty biased towards it. I really really dislike it. I really dislike the amount of time that you are. I don't want to be dramatic about it, but you're kind of forced to play.
Yeah, if you want a decent chance, you're gonna have to be putting in like 16-hour days for 7 days a week, and there's a chance that you're just gonna get insta killed by fog at the end of the tournament.
Exactly.
So
it's a lot of build up. It's a lot of build up for no strong reward.
Mm-hmm.
Which
I would love to see it just replaced with something else that can be reoccurring like Deadman Mode is.
Yeah.
Because we see Deadman Mode 4 times a year, right? Each season.
Yeah.
I would love to see something else take its place that's just more competitive and less requiring or less straining on the players, because there's people who legitimately, everyone who's rank 1 is probably putting in like 18-19 hour days.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous. So would be cool to see.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where it's not even interesting for me anymore. Like the only interesting aspect of it is watching the content creators that you like to watch regardless.
Yeah.
But like I honestly
having someone to root for.
Yeah, that's it. Like you like rooting for somebody, but even now I don't actually watch the content creators do it, and I understand why content creators do it. It's there's a chance that they could win. There is a lot of it's like a few whatchamacallit creators, like it's like the best money that they make within those few months, which is why they do it. And it's pretty much good for every creator. You want to get free content out of something, free easy content that people are going to watch, you play Deadman Mode. It's kind of just
it's 7 days of videos that it's not like you have to edit them too well. You just it's kind of just clip splicing.
Yeah,
exactly. Seven videos in 7 days.
And I think it's one of those things where it's like the content is good enough to kind of carry itself.
Yeah.
In theory, personally, I don't think that any of the content's good, but
at this point, what is it, like season 14 or something?
Yeah.
I've honestly lost count, and that's what's made it so.
Yeah, that's it, and it doesn't reflect on the individual creators themselves for why it's boring. It more so reflects on the fact that it's the same exact thing over and over and over. And like maybe if I never played it, I would have a different viewpoint as a viewer. But I've played it enough to know that there's a lot of stupid bullshit that it just gets me frustrated. It always makes my sleeping schedule just terrible. Like I'll stay up until 3 a.m. Just trying to record clips and everything and videos for it, and then in the end I don't necessarily even like the video anyway. That's
Here's the deal with something like this, where it's a competitive game mode. They want to draw in the esports from it. If you look at any other game, you even look at League of Legends, you look at Fortnite, Apex, PUBG, anything that does big numbers for competitions, the players are not sleep depriving themselves to do this.
No,
and I think that's one of the biggest things. Is this game mode is you have no real shot if you haven't been doing this for years and you don't have the physical capability to do this, because all the things that are esports, they're just games really quick. They're who's the best out of this, who's gonna knock it down in the tournament in a bracket or something.
It's an even playing field.
Right.
This is like an endurance challenge followed by a competitive challenge, and it's not like the game was entirely made for this kind of competitive challenge either. But the fact that there's this like endurance thing before the actual tournament, that's what just doesn't make it as much of an esports worthy thing.
Yeah, it's kind of not worthy of esports anyway, because it's a lot of just join a clan, and then hope that you don't die. And
make it to the 1v1s.
Make it to the 1v1s. That's it. And that's when it actually, kind of begins. But I don't know. It's not an even playing field. Like people are, outgeared. Like people, get fed by, their teams and everything. That's fine. But like it's not going to ever really be fair. And I guess that's, okay to a certain extent if that's what you're going for. But I think that if you want a truly good competitive, esport, it has to be an even playing field all the way around.
Definitely.
And that's why
I think,
at the very least it doesn't work. Yeah.
One of the things that I was kind of thinking about this was it gave me the idea from the All-Stars tournament of having everyone came in a bracket. I feel like the way they could do this is set it up, because ultimately this game is seeing who can outlast everybody in a huge clusterfuck of fighting at the end. That's what this is. It doesn't really make any sense. It really doesn't. And I think one way they could do this is set it up, if they want to do a PvP thing, you go on RuneScape's website or whatever, you type in your username and you're put into this system, and they have an area designated to fighting. You need to get a certain amount of qualifying points of win to loss on here to qualify. They've narrowed that tournament down as it goes on to be eligible to fight in this tournament. The last 8 people, 16 to 8 people left it like in this bracket of kill death. There'd be a ton to work out for it, but fly out people that make this final 8 and then have that be the kind of competition they're running where anyone can participate. You have to meet the quota. You have to meet the win to loss ratio that everybody has with numbers involved of how many fights you're actually doing, and see who the best is no matter who they are, kind of deal. I don't know. I think there's something along those lines that they can do to make this something everyone can participate in it who wants to and who wants to prove themselves, and you don't have to sleep deprive yourself to make it to the top, and people will tune in to see these players that no one's even known about or heard of that really know how to win a PvP battle.
Exactly. And if the creators actually are able to work their way into it, it kind of shows that, those creators are actually good enough to be in here. They're not just there because they are favored by the company.
Right.
I think that it would be a successful event regardless of whether or not there are big names in there. Of course, PvP All-Stars, I think that was a great idea. I think that, it could be reworked a little because, maybe have a loser bracket because, sticking certain people in one of the hardest brackets and then having them lose isn't really that fun, when you get flown out there and then you get to not really prove yourself anymore and you get called an asshole for the next few weeks. That's not great, but, I think the idea overall is very good. I really like the idea of All-Stars, and I think doing that, obviously, again, as one of the events would be great, even if it's, like land or not land, like, where they're all, actually sitting at home, touching their balls and everything while they're playing RuneScape.com. And then you can have one where, people get flown out. You can have one where it's, whoever, whatever Jimmy's idea or like, Jimmy's idea, like actually, coming to life. I think it'd be a great idea. I think that there are so many different ways that this game has potential for esports, and it just needs to be thought about more than, Deadman Mode worked once. It'll work again another 15 times if we do it, right? Like, it has to be better than it can't be the same thing over and over and over, especially when, the basis of it is some stupid bullshit endurance challenge that has nothing to do with the game. And again, the way that it is even being held right now and how the tournaments are being held, and this is why I'm happy, is that once more you are meant to sit there and play as long as you possibly can. It's very unhealthy. It's not, at the very least, it's just not good for your health. It can start and end there, the conversation. It's not good for your health.
Get after it, Jagex.
Yeah.
Figure that one out. Figure that one out.
Get to the drawing board.
Yeah. This has been a long conversation.
This has
been slacking off episode 1. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah.
Well, when I looked at this document of Jimmy's, I'm like, dude, this is maybe gonna be like a 15-minute episode, and we just turned like, I don't know, -4 questions into, my thing is going for an hour and 40 minutes right now. Yeah. It's probably gonna be cut down. You're not gonna see an hour and 40 minutes of this. Maybe like an hour and 35. Anyway. I think that's pretty much it. Do you guys have any final closing comments?
So if they actually like this, they should ask questions that can be screen capped and put on the screen for next time. That's pretty much all.
Start a segment.
That's actually a really good point. If you do have any interesting questions that you actually, they don't even have to be interesting. If you want to know what frickin' like socks framed puts in the microwave, then ask that. Ask anything you want. Maybe we'll put it on the screen. Maybe you'll read it out if you're lucky, if we're feeling out of our god complex or something and we feel like we want to read it out.
If you ask the sock question, we're probably not going to put it on the screen, though. I'm just going to say.
We might.
We could, but we probably won't. Your chances are higher if it's an actual productive conversation.
Yeah. Just saying.
I would rather everybody ask the question about what the guacamole is all about, because we're just not going to answer that. So.
Don't even bother. But
if there's one question that you should not ask, it's that. Watch.
Yeah, don't ask about the guacamole. That is a very valuable lesson to learn. On that note,
if I scroll down right now and even one of you has commented about this guacamole, I'm going to be livid. I'm just telling you right now.
He's going to be angry.
Yeah.
And that's assuming that any of you literally made it to this point, because I mean, who the hell watches what is this, like 90 minutes? What are you doing here?
Swamp Man good. That's why we're all here. Okay.
Spy Release bad, Swamp Man good, Gridlocked okay.
Yeah. Gridlocked stuck in traffic.
This has been slacking off.
It has been slacking off. Also, we made a Twitter account and an Instagram account, so go follow those.
I just outroed it. Hold on. Guys, don't leave yet. We have a Twitter account and an Instagram account. Okay, now you can leave.
Okay, there you go. Go do something.
Swampletics. Wait, no, that's not this. Slacking off.
That could be. There you go.
So what do you guys think about Swampletics number 19?
Bye.
What are you guys' thoughts?